Hola, bonjour, merhaba, konnichi, wagwan. Hello, you know who it is, people. It's Arsenal's realist, aka your Donny, aka your boy, aka the underground YouTuber, soon to blow. You can stop it, but it will never stop. I want to thank everybody in the chat, KO, Raging Demon, Daniel Nemeth, having a little Yorkshire tea. Before I jump into the chats, obviously I've got a little show lined up and prepared, and I'm going to jump into it. I want to thank everybody for being here. Obviously, as you can see in the description and pinned in the live section. And if you're new to the channel, please join. Obviously, hit the subscribe button and join the live chat. Get involved in the live chat. Join the community. But I have a GoFundMe link. Obviously, you lot know the long story, but the short story is maybe one day, you never know, full-time YouTube. You get me? And it's not just going to be football. We got a lot of stuff to come, but football's the main subject. And basically, I want to start our little show off today with it's very, very in line with what's going on at the moment. And listen, let's talk of Mesut Ozil, Balligans. Basically, I like to look at where we are today as Arsenal and where we came from, where we're going. And I don't want to harp on about the history. We can't keep talking about it because we're on ground zero. We've got to talk about what's going on today. But however, though, we was once at quite a high. You could say if you was to look at a Liverpool or a City now, you wouldn't expect to fast forward in 5, 10 years and start to slowly see a decline in such a way, which I will go to explain later. But our problems started, people. Arsenal's problems started with the greatest of greatest victories, as far as I can tell. Basically, we do the invincible season, and what's really impressive to me and what stood out, even when Liverpool had their good run last year and really was getting close to, some would say, doing an invincibles, Klopp, the players, it's Hendo. Every interview, no one could admit it, no one would say it, no one would dare utter the words, we're going to go unbeaten every match. They were scared to let alone say they're going to win the league. But they had a really good season, whether they're invincibles or not. You got to say it, they went in. But what was really impressive with this season and this Arsenal and this Wenger and this team, of course, we was up against, you could call it a mini empire in United, but more eyebrow raising than that. It was said before the season started, T-shirts were made. We're going to go we can go this season unbeaten. So to me, there is a little difference between just doing it and then basically there's a difference between being good and knowing you're good. We was in a very rare era, a beautiful stage, and the football showed it. Michael Carrick, if you watch MNF on Sky Sports, which is quite a good little show, you'll hear him say he believes Arsenal was one of the hardest teams for him to play against due to the skill and the pace, yeah, but it was such a physical battle on top of that. And that goes to show in the invincible season. And that leads to ultimately we're so good, basically, we're so good and so ahead of our time and clapping everyone in order to take the next step up and dominate whole of world football. Because basically, when you say a comment like, in 5 to 10 years' time, we're going to compete with Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, this and that. I do believe, basically, you are basically saying you're going from a level where you're competing with United, Chelsea's getting involved, Chelsea are just like, anyway, it was going on with our battle, to then say you're doing this transition from Highbury to the Emirates, it must to be better and compete with the highest. That means what you're saying is the level that we're at the moment, competing with United for the leagues, winning FA Cups, basically standardly getting to FA Cup finals, basically already competing. But you're saying you want to take us to that next level. This is what incurred. This is what incurred. We made the move, and we was told in this move, and it was Wenger had a big job on his hands. He had a huge job on his hands because we got told in this move there's gonna be a transition stage where there's gonna be a lack of spending. There's a minimum requirements was asked of Arsene Wenger, which were minimum 3 years qualification into the Champions League, absolutely minimum. If possible, 5 years. Wenger said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that 5, I'm going to double it to 10, I'm going to double that 10 to 20, slap 2 on it, 22. He gave them 22 years qualification. So basically, all criteria got met. And throughout, as said, as told worldwide to Arsenal fans, the media, football fans who used it against us, as we know, the changes and the transition to the Emirates slowly began. And true to their word, we did start getting players unrecognisable to the Arsenal that we once knew. The Arsenal that once was regarded as Gary Neville's nemesis. Ronaldo would go on to say that Arsenal was something else. Jamie Carragher will say, hardest team we played against. So we find ourselves, after the transition, true to the owner's word, we start seeing unrecognisable players and we start fishing from a smaller pool. And we miss a trick. We're missing a trick the whole time. We're missing a trick. We're not improving. Other clubs are improving. And along the way, true to their word again, not only are we seeing unrecognisable players, we're losing. Whether it's a young talent who seemed to be very talented at the time, playing well, getting appearances for France, we lose him to whatever circumstances, but the ship's not being run steady. To the whole other side of it, you go to an experienced player who played with the Bergkamps or Thierry Henrys and all of these players, and he had to make his final move in order to get a trophy. AKA, obviously, that's Robin van Persie. Did the owners support Van Persie's dream of trying to win the trophy one day? Ultimately, as a player, do you have to make a decision? And like I said, so we're going through this phase. During this transition, we're seeing players we don't recognise. We're still qualifying. We're losing players. We're even getting linked to players as a joke. It's a joke. We wasn't really linked to them. We're getting told, you're going to get Benzema 100 times over. We're getting told, it's £1 for Suarez. These are all little things just to keep the fans engaged. We even had to play the game of the transition game. We did buy Bentner's, Shamak's, lost Nasri's, Van Persie's, and we bought all sorts of suspect players along the way. And you know what? Some of them actually made a transition from suspect and and you know what? They ended up still. We kept going along in the top 4, kept chugging along. And one thing you can honestly say I can honestly say, and I'm pretty sure I want to speak for at least 100% fact, 60% of the people in the chat, let alone I would like to be speaking to at least 70% of the fan base. We lost a lot. Whether it was players getting taken up by other players' spaces, literally losing players, or just getting bantered in transfer windows, we lost a lot. But one thing I think it was fair to say we did not lose was the passion. And that is no joke. We did not lose the passion. You can tell me we didn't. We did. You can tell me we didn't. We didn't lose the passion. And you know what? We held this and we ran on and we chugged along. We chugged along for a long time. We kept pushing along with all sorts of hypocrisies. And the pictures might not quite add up with the time frame here, but follow me. But you know what? I don't want to fast forward backwards, but like I said, we go from the Invincibles, a transition happens. We get players we don't recognise, replacing players we do recognise. We're linked to people just to shut us up in transfer windows. Wenger does the even brilliant thing of doing the transition. And you know what? One of the huge marquee absolute turning points, a message to the fans, just like when this message came, the message was a transition's coming. You have got the hard times are coming. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to replace with unworthy. This was the message then. And you know what? A statement got made, people, and it shook the world. It shook the Arsenal fan base from head to shiver me timber. Yeah, it shook the fan base. And you know what that was? This Ozil, Mesut Ozil, a young Real Madrid starlet prodigy player who has a huge future at Real Madrid. He plays with Ronaldo on a daily basis. Madrid have gone on to win 3-4 Champions Leagues in a row. They've gone to win on leagues. They've gone to become a household name. They've gone to dominate football in their own right for their own time frame. It was a huge, I want to say, it was meant to be a huge, I want to say, show of It's over. It was the 5, 6, 7 year period of us struggling and having to shop in a pool of lower quality players and lose our players and not be able to afford players. It's all over. This was a sign to the world to say, we met our criteria when it came to the change. We moved from Highbury to the Emirates, but we're back in the game now. We're taking a young starlet. He played in the German team at the time. His whole future was ahead of him. Everything was great. We took him from Real Madrid and he come to Arsenal. And that was the sign to say 42 million. Now that's it. We're here. We've gone through the change, my fans, my fellow followers, Cronky saying. We went through the change and we said, you know what? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You've bought Ozil, a young player. He's never going to win a player team in the league or this or that. If you put him in the right team, he's a young at the time, silky, not quite strong and durable, not brilliant off the ball, but brilliant at creating. 728 chances he ends up going to create for Arsenal in his whole time, 74 goals, 42 assists, something along those lines. But at the time we got him, it was definitely about the building around him. And slowly, he was the first sign, like I keep saying, he was the first person that was literally it's over. It's over. The hard times are over for Arsenal. We're back in the game now. We've got our new stadium. And we went on to see what would happen with Ozil. And you know what? We sat tight for a little while because we said, you know what? This guy was playing with Ronaldo's. This guy was playing with the best of the best. And we're still making very, very, very suspect purchases. He's playing alongside Bentners, Wilshires, Walcotts. And when it comes to the English core, the Oxlades, Wilshires, all of these, obviously they should have been there on the bench playing. But we should have been purchasing players to bring out the best in Mesut Ozil. And you know what? Eventually, they took their time, but eventually the day came. Eventually, the day came. Do you know what? It was a bit of a suspect buy. 36 M's, I think it was, right at the beginning of the Brazilian World Cup. Chile had a good little go in that. But before that point, he had been warming the bench at Barcelona. And it wasn't as, put it this way, people wasn't fighting over Alexis Sanchez. But we got him, brilliant from Wenger, brilliant from the Arsenal. And you say, do you know what? At this point, you've done your 42 on Ozil. You've waited a billion years, but you have got someone in. And do you know what? We can't deny it. A brilliant partnership have formed. So if you pause it right there, you say to yourself, do you know what? Although it was slow, although it wasn't right, we lost a lot along the way. We lost literally Premier League titles. We handed them to United. That RVP year, I'll never stop talking about it. But you say, do you know what? Up until this point, and a few years after this point, a lot has happened. We have waited a long time, up even till to this day. Yeah, there's a lot that's happened. Tottenham have built a new stadium. They've been in a Champions League final and lost it. Thank God. Leicester have won a league. Liverpool have won a Champions League. Even the time of the Invincibles, Gary Neville was a player. It gets to the point. I've got to let you see the stats. It gets to the point. Man's been a manager. Gary Neville, the manager. Yeah, times have changed and pushed on so long. They've even pushed on so much and big it up as well. Women's football is at the forefront now. Women's football, they get more views on their channel than I do mine. And big it up, yeah? But what I'm saying is football has come, changed, and it's evolved, bruv. So much has happened from the time of this to the time of that marquee apparent signing that we took from Ronaldo and didn't give him, no one and supported him, apart from Sanchez. Yes, brilliant. But along this way, we've allowed another club to just build a stadium and go and buy Ndombele, yeah? 68 M's, bam, hold that. Luckily, they lost in their Champions League final, but Liverpool have come from the bottom to the top. Leicester have won a league. Gary Neville's become a manager. Women's football has hit the forefront of TV. And you know what? We said, finally, we've waited. We've seen all of this stuff happen. Do you know what? Let's see. They're finally, Ozil and Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, they're clicking, they're passing. At least we're going to see something now. All you got to do, Giroud, I'd never wanted to sell him. He's a super sub. He's a header man. You see how Chelsea's using him, although they're contemplating getting rid of him. But what we needed to do was get that duppy number 9. Even just imagine, just for argument's sake, just to be simple about it. If we was a club that was investing, doing things right, imagine if we bought Martial instead of United at the time, 60 M's. That would have been nice, isn't it? Sanchez on the left, Martial in the middle, Ozil behind him. Giroud can come on at the end of every game, 70 minutes to get that last goal. Listen, I'm just saying the investment would have took us a long way. So we were sitting there thinking, do you know what? Football changed, the world's evolved, but we can't wait. And the next thing that happened was this. Man's like, how many of them letter things can you do, bruv? Man was like, OMG, LOL, fucking, I don't know anymore. They're the only two I know. .com, SOS. Man was in a fucking madness. It happened again. So this is what I couldn't fathom. We had the Invincibles. We were so good. We had to move stadium to get a bigger brand and everything else. It was a brilliant thing. We had the bad players. We sold the good players. We didn't win a league with Van Persie. We was getting bullshitted around for every transfer window. We actually turned Giroud into something. We did not lose the passion. Finally, we get Mesut Ozil. The stadium's built. It is built. We've gone through so much. We've watched Tottenham rise up. We've watched Liverpool rise up. Leicester rise up. Gary Neville has been a manager, bruv. Women's football is at the top. Just to show you how much the world is changing while Arsenal fans are stuck in the same loop, getting lied to forever. Big up the women. And you know what? We wait, and then this happens. So how do we go from losing Van Persie? How do we go from losing Van Persie? And the reason we lost Van Persie is because we could not support him because we done this move and we got told it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever. It happened. We lost him. The time we came out of it, we declared it. Here's the 42 M's on Ozil. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. And finally, we work ourselves where it's all happened all over again. And then now, Mesut Ozil's in the situation he's in. Everybody's wiling out. I'm not saying not to. I'm not happy myself. It's not right. But can I ask you something? What did Kroenke do in order since the day he purchased Mesut Ozil? What has he done to help him get a trophy? Because that's the point. When he signed, that's what he said. That's what everyone says. Sanchez said it the day he signed. I want to win trophies with Arsenal. He clocked 10 minutes later. Oh, you don't want trophies? Laters. It's all gone wrong for him. Cool. Van Persie did it. He got one. Ashley Cole did it. He got one. So other people do it. It don't work. But what has he done? What has he done? And this is when he's done nothing to help Ozil. They've milked everything. Now Ozil's doing him the favour and sucking him for 300 a week. And this is why I worry, people, for the Kieran Tierney's. This is why I worry for the future of Arsenal, for the Kieran Tierney's, the Martinellis, the Sakas, the Smith Rowes, because it's not, ultimately, we all know, it's not about them. It's not about him. It's not about one. It's about a team unity, yeah? It's about City could have a whole team of 11, 15 brilliant players. You take one or two key compartments out of that company, they don't move the same. Aguero, it's not working. All right, they've beat United. Everyone's getting gassed. I can guarantee to you right now, John Stones scored for them, for City. And who else was it? John Stones and Fernandinho, some weak, low shot. They're not... John Stones ain't scoring every game. They're going to lose another few matches. When you don't have the personnel, it's not about one player. Like I just explained, a strong team like City, you take a couple key components out. And this is where my worry comes. This is so, just to quickly run through that one last time for anybody who's just come in. Arsenal were brilliant. The Invincibles, we were so good. It inspired change. It inspired change from the Highbury to the Emirates. And over that change, it was declared, we will have less money to spend. Arsene Wenger had a certain criteria. You must qualify for the Champions League 4 years minimum. He said, you know what? I'll do you 22 years better. And so it happened. We started seeing the Shamaks, the Bentners. We lost our players. We gained unrecognisable players. We was linked to players we would never get. Ultimately, holding on to some, transitioning them into something that resembled a bit of passion. Ultimately, to simplify and to announce the end of the debt of Arsenal, and we are not held ransom to this stadium. We bought Mesut Ozil from Real Madrid while he was young. It was a huge statement to football, global, worldwide. It was a huge statement. We took a prime player of Real Madrid. Then we played him player with Bentner for a while, like what's going on? Then we signed Sanchez, the partnership blossomed, and ultimately we know what that partnership led to. Sanchez playing the piano, Ozil being pissed off, and like I said, how is that a decent relationship? How is that a united force in football trying to win the trophy? Sounds more like, to me, Ozil's had enough, like RVP had enough. And I don't want that to happen to Tierney. I don't want that to happen to the youth. So with all of that said, I'm going to jump in to the comment sections and But the question I ask for you is how is Kroenke? What opportunity did he give to Mesut Ozil to win the trophy? It's probably the same opportunity that RVP got. It's probably the same opportunity that a lot of people end up leaving because of. So I'm going to bang out a few comments. Let's go. Let me scroll up and down a little bit. Hello. Did Wenger arrange the move in stage? It's a combined thing. Do you know what I mean? But he couldn't do nothing. It's an owner. Oli would lose a semi-even in Cameron Diaz was lying naked in front of him. Gary Neville was a manager of sorts. Maybe a little too much credit there, though. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now I'm just saying how at the time when we won the league and we was invincibles, he was a right back, bro. And that's how long we waited to even dare to start investing. And then finally, when it went right, we sell him. Sanchez, I mean. Big up women football. Darwin is CR7 on women's football. Oli would take a Viagra and still not get past this. Sorry if I'm not reading the comments out fast. I can hear something. I'm just listening in my peripheral. Smith Rowe's replacing Ozil. Listen, no one's directly replacing Ozil, bro. He's just sitting there, sucking the dough. But I've got a video dropping very soon about Mesut Ozil in this situation. I'm just doing a few last finishing touches on it. Investment is just a long-term loan, AR. Well, to this Arsenal, bro, a loan's even a loan. There's debt on debt. David Olatunji, Smith Rowe, intelligence is second to none. He's a top player. Don't forget FT forming during that period. 100% KO. Wenger an example. Wenger is an example of being too good. So good that the board exploited his talent and never backed him because he was always providing the goods. Absolutely. That's what we just basically, it showed that in that video as well. DT said Party's like a new signing. He is a new signing, bruv. A lie. Do you think Tierney will leave one day? I want Arsenal beat United so badly. Also, way over 3-0. When are we playing them, Ace? If it means we lose to Wolves and Villa again, rather than Arsenal beat United 3-0 win against Wolves and Villa, is the price I'm just to destroy. You know what you say? You're willing to lose to beat United. Boy. Andrew, I think Paisto, of course he'll leave. When we don't win anything decent, he'll hunt for trophies. Yeah, exactly. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I just didn't want you to hear the racket. Aidan Ward, we won't have those kids for much longer. They'll be sold to pay off Kroenke's loan. I've got a video dropping. I've got a few videos dropping about, well, I've got a few little Saliba, there's a few things, but also the loan that the Bank of England have just dropped to Kroenke. So I will be dropping that, getting that finished and up. And basically, I think Aidan's right. We'll be paying it off. Who we lose along the way, God knows, man. God knows, because it's going to be a long one, though. KL, we should have built around Ozil, but the club used his name and image, and that's it. Exactly, KL. Exactly, bruv. Daniel name is President Donald Trump after being suspended. No, I can't say this stuff. They close your channels, bruv. Real talk, Daniel. I heard if you say that brother's name. David Olatunji, realist was there a time you wanted when realist was there a time you wanted when oh never, nah, never. People in my life know. Anyway, I know the truth, bro. I know the truth. Look where we are now. Something promised to Aubameyang to get him to sign. Same thing. Yeah, exactly. We promised it to a lot, though, whether it's I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but you could say thousands of names that, like when you say Nasri and Clichy, let's be real, they ain't going to win us nothing. They were really good players who had the potential. But Robin van Persie, United bought him, won the league. He left. They've never won the league since. So as an Arsenal fan or player or whatever, you have a decision. You either build around a top player like him. For instance, can you imagine a few years later when you get Mesut Ozil? If you keep Van Persie and you let Ozil, there's just the whole sequence of events that could have played out differently. But you can have a good midfielder like Mesut Ozil, a good striker like Robin van Persie, and a half decent defender like Laurent Koscielny. But it's no good if they're not all playing together. When you sell, you can only be lopsided. Realist, big up yourself, Guna, KL. Williams the GOAT. Next game, watch him not score. A lie. Guna for life. TV, my bro. Big up Guna. Big up Andrew Ramsey said Ozil was the teacher's pet. Well, that's people, that's just thingies. This and that. I ain't talking about personalities or characters. I'm talking about when after the first year he came, after the them 3-4 years when he was playing really good, we didn't build up. We didn't build it. Build around it. Tierney's ambition. Time. Big up KL. Football with Brownies. Well. Miss Melina called today sending bots to other Arsenal fan channels who, coincidentally, she was a mod in all their chat rooms also. Now that rings a bell, AR. Well, just remember, bro, I never lie, do I? I never lie. So she's been doing it. What? And did somebody bait her up? Why did they bait? Because she sent bad bots, isn't it? That's what she does. If she likes you, and that's what she does to all of them. Chloe, this and that. She helps all of their channels and pretends to help other people, then fucks them up. I think she's been helping someone called Broad lately, or Broads. I don't know him. Good luck to him. I hope he has a good YouTube. I don't really know who he is or what he is. But he needs to be wary because they'll do this and then fuck his channel up. So, oh yes, certified beast. Help out the realist, spread the truth. That's my GoFundMe. You can click that, help that, spread that, people. Thank you very much. Help out the realist, spread the truth. We sold Aubameyang and bought a dough from Celtic. We should sell, do you mean, or we have? What are you talking about, broski? You mean we should? Don't ever make me start Googling like that. But I suppose that was just a quick one, people, because at the end of the day, I've got a couple of other videos I'm dropping later, and we've got a few lives dropping as well. We can get 9 points from our next 3 games realistically. Realistically, bruv. Realistically. We might even find a way to get -1 point out of all of that, bruv. Not only will we lose, bruv, we do something mad and get -1 point. But like I said, leave me in the comment section in my next 2 videos coming up. Make sure you leave some comments, let it be going. But give me some suggestions now. Edu is good. Dude, I know who that guy is. I've done a video about him on my last channel. He's good, but he has a bad attitude. So they are thinking about the Aubameyang replacement then. At least something's going on, but we're finished, man. And future videos are going to go on to show that. But I want to thank you all for being here. We're coming up to the end of our little live today. And I'm going to just, for anyone who's coming late or anything, I'm just going to go over the basis of the video again, just so you can all leave me a saucy little comment after the video's uploaded. Make sure you hit the like. But obviously Arsenal was somewhere great once, people, and that greatness encouraged a move for ultimate greatness to the Emirates. And along that way, we lost players. We gained unrecognisable players. We was linked to players we was never going to get. We had to rely on lower echelon players, and we actually turned them into real decent performers, goal scorers. And one thing we did not lose along the way, after losing a lot, was the passion. That's one thing we didn't lose under Wenger, and a big marquee signing and a big message to the fans when we signed Mesut Ozil and took him away from Real Madrid, who will go on to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row, leagues, just have ultimate success. We took him, a young player, from there, and it was a huge statement. You're taking a young player from Real Madrid, saying Arsenal's back in the game. We waited. He played alongside the likes of Bentner. But eventually his partner came in, and it was Sanchez. And do you know what? You couldn't have built a better one. The goals to assists ratio was a madness. All that happened, the only problem was at the time, we had nothing else. Every goal went through Sanchez. Every assist came from Ozil. That's all we had. We had to build on it. You could see the frustration building in Sanchez and Ozil. Ultimately, Sanchez's frustration kicked in to him leaving. Ozil's frustration kicked in the form of performances just being under par. Ultimately, I say the Cronkies didn't give Ozil opportunities to win trophies. So ultimately, he went sour, and I'm worried about Tierney in the future. And under that same, you could say, Bellerin, maybe not trophies. You might not deserve to win trophies, but you deserve to be given the full potential of your career and compete. And Bellerin, you can honestly say, been damaged, and he didn't get a chance to win trophies. We don't want that to happen with Tierney and all of these kids here you see in this picture. So with that said, it's a January transfer window. We need to keep our ear to the ground and make sure we recognise any purchase that comes in that's like Pepe that we don't need. You're buying a player for the sake of it. You're apparently breaking the transfer budget. But we have real areas we need to highlight and get. Unai Emery's said a lot since he's left. Not many people want to take notice. Why should we should have sold Aubameyang for, okay, Daniel Nemeth, big up yourself, Daniel. Why is an agent controlling so much at Arsenal? Because the owners on a mad one. I've been watching a lot of MNF lately with Gary Neville and Carragher. I've got videos coming up about them, and they know the truth. You need to watch some of them. With great power comes great responsibility. Trust me, bro. That's why I stick to the truth always. Do you know how easy it could be for me to go and do 20 reaction videos to a native TV or do clickbaity stuff? Or it's very easy. Have you seen the clickbait channels all going around? The Fuggeries and Mabba Bappers, whatever they're called, and this and that. But this ain't about that. When it's all said and done, I will be the one who said all the truth. And I will laugh at not laugh, but I don't even care if it's Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, AFTV, Sunny Delight TV, all these fake channels and Hugh Wizzies, this and that. When the time comes, we will all look back and we'll see who spoke the truth. So they can all chat shit and we'll see who killed it and who rised it. Thoughts on Ozil to Fenerbahce. Got a video dropping about that, David Olatunji, but yeah, I'm going to get that out there, but I've kind of summed over it. But at the end of the day, I'd like to, when it comes to that question, David Olatunji, I probably would say, what did Kroenke do to allow Ozil to win the trophy? Did you hear what Zaha came out and said about Arsenal? He's always banging someone's daughter or something. What did he say? He banged Arsenal's daughter. Excellent show yesterday and today, AR. Nice one, KO. That means a lot, bro. Thank you. Obviously, we've got more coming. Haven't got one scheduled in now, but I've got 3 videos right now that will be dropping throughout the next few hours and tomorrow. And the next lives will be scheduled in. Got a few guests coming on, this and that. Sunny Delight, lol. He's a flash in the pan. No, well, what he is he's going to be back soon. And everyone's going to sub up and watch him. And they can't see what's going on. He started the channel, yeah, to get Kroenke out, he said, and be unfiltered. Straight away, he couldn't get money for being unfiltered. He changed his name to Arsenal. Got the donation, begged for donations every single day. Every time I went live, they went live, yeah? Every time, the same time. They sucked my flow for as long as they could till I watched. These people don't even come in my chat no more. I used to have them all here, but they went to the other side for some reason. Straight away got an offer in. Someone bought his channel off of him for 2,000 bags because he done the Miss Melina thing, buying subs and views and making it like your channel's bigger than it is. Sold it for £2,000. Just like Kroenke, bruv. There's no message. There's no nothing. He sold the channel and deleted every video, and he'll be back in 6 months with another channel. He'll build it up again and he'll sell it again. And the whole way, they're going to chat shit about me. About me. My laptop costs 3 racks. My camera costs 7 bills. You can go on my GoFundMe now. I've made £120, £25. Big up to everybody. My videos take bare time to edit this and that. This takes a lot of prep, not a lot of preparation, but I put preparation into it, innit? I enjoy it. Fucking, have you ever watched them man's live? They just stick the camera on every day and just talk. At least I rate that rant spreader, the rants and bants. At least he talks sense and tries to give an angle. They literally, every second, just turn it on and talk, just to suck the dough. So let's just get that right. I want to see Arsenal thrash United way over 3 goals to destroy United because they have it coming. Boy, I swear we got Newcastle next, so I kind of ain't thinking about United yet. Let's get the FA Cup out of the way. But Zaha's question, Arsenal over the no-brain Nicolas Pepe transfer. Zaha questions asked, oh, there's a video coming up, bruv, then. There's a video coming up. All I've got to do is this to remember it. Watch. Now I got that. It's definitely, I'll do a video on that. Good evening, realist. Big up yourself. Emery really wanted him, and Zaha was ready to. Oh, don't you get me angry, Daniel? It would have been a brilliant signing. I can't donate on YouTube, realist. There's a GoFundMe link there, bruv. You can click it. The GoFundMe link, you click that. That's not YouTube. It's direct with your bank account, I think, or whatever. But also, well, that's it. That's the only avenue of donation. But if you can't donate, share it, like. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. Like I said, it's not. I'm not forcing it. It's just hopefully one day the time will come. We'll be able to do it full time, innit? We've got hammer lammer ding dong. But until then, it's out of the goodness of people's hearts. Look at Cronky, the way he's shaking Ozil. You see that little tiny mouth above his head, bro. Cronky kisses that lip every night, bro. But my Donnies, hard code. Big up yourself, Daniel. I'll send you the link. Big up, yeah, on Insta, deaf, bro. But you know what, people? I just want to say thank you very much. It's not a game, but obviously to Cronky it is a game. Make sure you love your people. What's your thoughts on about the lockdown? Oh, don't worry. You watch my next videos coming up, Hardcode. I talk about it very, 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 very much. But I've seen people around me collapse mentally. Me personally, I lost my sanity when in the transition of year 6 to year 7. In that summer, I lost my life, my love, my soul. So it's all normal to me now. But blood, I see people losing their mind, but it makes me just be grateful for losing my mind years ago. People, how's work, realist? Shit and fucked. Bye, realist. Safe Joseph Masico. Big up yourself. Hardcode. Big up yourself. Daniel. I want to say, everybody, yep, see you all. Thank you all, guys, man. Mad love. It's Arsenal's realist. Make sure you love people. Make sure your people love you. Thank you very much.